Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back for more of The Flash. So last episode, Barry told the others that the crisis is coming, and at the end of the episode, he told them the whole truth that they can't save him, they can't try to save him, that he has to die for everybody to live. So we have that coming into the next episode, seeing how they're going to deal with that. Frost was dealing with the fact that before telling that they could live, or that everybody else was going to live if he were to die, she's dealing with the issue of not wanting to die after she's finally kind of coming into living. And we had what's his name? Roman? What's his name? Is that his name? Romero. That's his name. Romero. Coming in, being controlled by Ramsey, and then he Ramsey later on absorbed a little bit of his blood, which was contaminated by his blood or something, mutated by his blood. So now he wants to do that. He wants to do more of that to heal himself, which is fair considering he's got cancer. Frost had a birthday party, very important, which led to Barry telling her that he's not going to make it in the crisis, which led to telling the rest of the team. And then we also had new Harry. He's Harrison Nash Wells. That's what he is going by. So I'm assuming we're going to be calling him Nash. And he has something to do with Eternium. And he's looking for something called Eternium. He found it in the sewers, which is where, the only thing that kind of seems significant is that's where Grodd was for a good majority of first season. I'm assuming the Eternium has something to do with the crisis, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that's the case, but I don't know why else he would be here looking for this stuff. Like, what do we have to do pertaining to why they would show it then, or what do we have to do pertaining to the episode otherwise? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're going to jump into this next episode.
Look, 6 weeks from now, all of our lives are going to be on the line. So we have to be prepared.
Yes, but what about him? I'm not just going to wait around for him to get vaporized by antimatter. We should be doing something to try to save his life.
You can't. You can't, Cisco. That's why I need you to stop worrying about me.
If Barry had any other option, we'd be doing it.
Curing a rare blood cancer, that is beyond our resources.
I don't know.
So we just shouldn't try?
So we try.
We create a med
and somehow
cure.
Succeed. Are we supposed to spend the rest of your time here trying to save everyone who's been diagnosed with cancer? I mean,
We start with one man. Or...
Oh my god! Why?
An act of science. And I know just where to find one.
I'm assuming this is the Wells that you were telling me about?
Barry Allen, the Flash.
How did you...
Hidden surveillance device.
you bugged Star Labs.
No, not exactly. I bugged you.
Yep.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Fellas, I've been listening to your conversations, and I have a proposition.
Wells usually shows up for a reason.
Fellas,
Yeah.
you're aware, he's still bugged, right?
Where is the bug? I don't see...
Not in your shoe. I can tell you that much.
that we trust you.
We don't.
Which we obviously don't.
Freeze! Both of you!
Both of us.
Well, he vanished quickly. Where's Wells? He's gonna... Oh, there it is.
Nash? Hey, fellas.
Did you guys hear that? What? No?
Didn't hear anything.
Wait, yeah, I did hear that. Is that an alarm? No. We're too late. This can't be happening.
McCullough must have already sold it.
We needed this to save Ramsey.
Cisco.
Yo, what's in here?
That's storage for Frost's stuff. He didn't look me in the eye since I came in here. Wait. What the hell am I looking at?
I don't care what powers you have. You want it? You're gonna have to go through me.
He can literally phase through you.
I told you, you can't save me.
I'm not buying that.
Well, you have to. Sacrificing myself saves everything and everyone. I've seen it.
And what does that give me to look forward to? Waking up to a world without the Flash? A life without my best friend?
You get to live. I wanted us to save one person's life so you could understand the tough calls, the sacrifices that a leader has to make.
He wants him to leave.
Because you're my pick. And then you stole something that was meant to save another person's life. You justified it even.
Can I do it again?
Maybe I made the wrong choice.
You're dying as well. Don't you want a lifeline for yourself?
There's only enough of this for one person. And I've read about you, Ramsey, and I've talked to Caitlin. You're a brilliant doctor. From what she said, if you had enough time, you could cure HLH. I'm giving you that time. The world needs people like you to save those who can't save themselves.
Digging into this right now, it doesn't matter. Why the hell should I try to find her and try to help her if I can't even save
Barry, you can say it.
Barry?
He knows.
You can't always save everyone. But you can always save someone. For you, that's Sue Dearborn, not Barry.
Dang it, Joe.
I'm gonna miss him, Joe.
You are in my way.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. What about the other girl? Oh, speaking of which. Freeze her. Freeze her hand. She's already dead. Frost. There we go. Oh, well, that works too. That was cool, though. Oh, that's cool. Well, why did you just freeze her?
My blood brothers and sisters are much more than just the help. They're making me stronger.
You're using them.
To survive!
There we go. More of that.
Don't you see what I'm becoming? This is the cure. I am the answer, Flash, to the greatest mystery of all. Life eternal. Please, Dr. Russell. I saved you for last, so you would be the most afraid.
Ramsey, please don't do this.
You could have saved Mum, but you didn't. And that's why I came here for you.
Ramsey!
Wait,
We have to help him.
I don't think we can.
I swear, if it is the last thing I do on this earth, I'm gonna stop.
How did Ramsey do this anyway?
He's using people as incubators.
That's no excuse for me being a jerk. I'm sorry. I know it, you were just trying to help me. So I did want to say that tomorrow I'm going to call Midway City, see what I can find.
That's great, Ralph. Sue is very lucky to have a master detective like you searching for her.
Give me a break. It's just a missing persons case. It's not like I'm looking to get married.
Would you mind if I catch up with you in a couple minutes?
It's fine.
Oh, it's gonna suck, isn't it? Ugh.
Barry.
still don't know how you do that, man. Picking yourself up. Just pushing forward.
I'm just trying to teach you what it's taken me years to learn.
I know you're doing it for all of us.
I knew I picked the right guy. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay.
It's just, damn it, it's not right. The world owes you. You deserve better than this.
No, I don't. I'm grateful for everything that I have. All the blessings in my life. You were the one that showed me what it takes. Just be a good person. You're one of the biggest reasons I was even able to become the Flash.
Man, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. It's not.
It's okay, man. It's all right.
No. I know you. You say it has to happen, but
It's all right. It's okay. I'm never gonna leave you. Even when I'm gone. So this is where you've been hiding.
Hiding.
Time to pay a house call.
Jesus. Yep. Okay. That's about what I was expecting. I didn't know Joe knew already. Or like, I guess he had told everybody when he, like afterwards, they didn't show it, I guess. But Joe had just been putting on a brave face throughout the whole time. Oof, man, that sucked. That was getting me throughout the whole of it. The whole scene they had, Joe and Barry that they had together. But man, when he finally fully broke down and said, "I'm not ready," God dang, that sucked, man. And I asked for it. I asked for it. Big mistake. Big mistake. And yeah, it was throughout the whole episode, which makes sense. Like of everybody, like Ralph was dealing with it. Cisco was dealing with it. Man, whew. Like Cisco even tried to like forego. That's the right word, right? Forego. I think that's it. Using the cure to try to save Ramsey, he was gonna try to use it to save Barry instead. But Joe and Barry scenes always get me, but that one was particularly difficult. Like I was tearing up pretty bad that time around. Like man, whew. I was holding back as much as I could so I wasn't missing what was going on, and making too much noise so I didn't miss things as well. But yeah, I can promise you, editing that part is gonna be difficult. Not necessarily like finding the points that I can keep in, but like obviously it's gonna be much worse because I'm not gonna have the struggle of trying to hold it together for a little bit so that I don't miss anything. I'm gonna be free to just let it loose, and man, I promise I'm probably going to. But to address the ending, the end credit bit. So Wells is whatever. Wells is trying to. He's looking for the monitor, it seems. So just a random, like a theory shot in the dark here. This might not have any kind of. This doesn't really have much evidence to it, but is Wells the anti-monitor in here? Like, is he taking this form of Wells or possessed him or what? I don't. Again, I haven't finished the comic yet. I'm still working on it. finding the time is a bit difficult. But is that like I'm wondering if that like he can take form or like turn to anybody he wants or possess somebody? I don't know how he works. But because if not, then I don't know why he's trying to find him and he's trying to break into I guess where he's been hiding or I mean probably not actually hiding. That's just the Wells' term for it. But yeah, because he's trying to break into where he's staying. Why is he staying there? Because when I know Monitor, he's like up in space, where he's holed up at. Obviously they'd have to change that for this, but I'm just like, why on Earth and why on this Earth particularly? I know this is the one it's the one he's like he's picked to like defend, basically be his champion. But I just didn't I don't know I didn't expect him to be holding up on Earth, like maybe in the same universe but like up top, and I don't know. I'm wondering if he's actually there. I would assume I don't know. Well, I'm not sure like what this Wells is actually capable of. He's apparently really good at fighting, or I guess just because he had the element of surprise and the guards couldn't see. So that was funny. I like that scene. And apparently that smoke thing can teleport him. So that's cool. Like I guess it's because I think that's what he used last. Was it last episode? I think that that they found him. Oh, guys, just so you know, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try to do a poll. If y'all watch Blind Wave, basically what they do on that. Try it out. It's going to be on Patreon, just $1. So if you want, you can go ahead and support us there, and you can join in on the poll. If anybody wants to go ahead and join in on that, you're welcome to. So yeah, off the bat, the beginning of the episode, it's Halloween episode, which is kind of cool. I think that they usually do that. Or do they usually have Halloween episodes, Halloween things? I don't think they do. They usually skip over that that holiday, I think. Anyway, so I thought that Ramsey needed blood infused with dark matter, but it didn't seem the case. It was just somebody that adrenaline is rushing through their blood, and that's what kind of like the bonding agent that connects his blood to the healthy blood. So I didn't know that. I thought that was supposed to be like it's the dark matter that's fused with the healthy blood, but no. Which sucks because he killed all those people in the hospital. I don't know how many he killed. I mean, we saw only 4, including 5, including the doctor. Right? Was it 4 with and then him being the 5th one, or was it 4 with him? I can't remember. Right? But yeah. So it's on episode 4 and they've already figured out who he is, which isn't unheard of. They found out who it is quickly. Like, I think it was the thinker. They found out who it was pretty quickly. I don't remember when they found out about who Cicada was in last season. I think it was before. It was before the 100th episode, so it was pretty early on there. That's might wrap up pretty soon, or like before the crossover. That might be what that is about, and then next after the crossover thing. That might be dealing with the organization that's using metas to do the dirty work. I'm not sure because they found out, and then they found out who the villain is, or that they found out that there is a villain, or a main villain anyway, and that still goes over like the whole of the season. So they might still use him throughout throughout the rest of the season. But I mean, it kind of seems like maybe they're just going to use that as a half point, because that's focusing on that as well. Like I was trying to save him before I die, so that would be like kind of my last thing here. And I last episode, at the end of it, I was kind of disappointed that it cut off like right after he told them, and I was thinking like maybe I would hope that they'd come back to it like basically right where they left off, and that's what they did. And it also had effect throughout the whole of the episode, which I mean makes sense. They're not going to hear about it and get over it. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen, but I didn't know if they were going to like deal with like have it be an issue, which is I'm glad they did. So they can deal with like obviously as we saw Cisco, he was dealing with having to not try to save his best friend, which gutted me, and obviously gutted him, and everybody very like he could see like the pain that his friend was dealing with, and that like the struggle of not being able to try to save his friend. And Ralph felt the same way, he's like, what's the point in trying to save somebody if I can't even save my best friend? Which is like like looking back at season 1, like not season 1, I'm sorry, the first season that Ralph came in and kind of like the way they were kind of butting heads, how they hated each other pretty much at the beginning. It's even though it's only been 2 seasons since then, it's like the growth of that friendship is like it contrasts so much, and it sucks like seeing Ralph in that situation. Like, I can't see my friend. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, there's nothing for me. Like, what's the point of continuing on helping others? Essentially, is kind of what he's going through. And then because of the way Cisco was dealing with things, like he was when he tried to steal the serum to try to save Barry, there was that scene that they had where Barry's obviously trying to train him up to be the leader, since he's planning to be gone. Like he's pretty sure, because I don't know, the whole like the emotional setups they were having. It seems like it just makes I'm pretty sure he's not gonna die, but it's the way they were setting everything up. It seems like that's what they're preparing us for as well, not just the team, like the actual audience. So I'm a little worried. Like they might bring somebody else to be a speedster, or they might just, I don't know if they might finish the season off. This might be the last season, I don't know, of the Flash, and that like this is how they're gonna end it like with Cisco leading a team. I don't know how it's gonna do like the whole, because I mean I don't know how it would continue on, because Grant's kind of been like the others have obviously they've lent to it, but he has sort of been the carrying force, if you know what I mean. Like, not that he carries it on his own. Like without the rest of them, it wouldn't be the same. But without him, it wouldn't be the same as well. Like, I don't know what they would do if Grant wasn't in the show from here on, or just for this last season. Even if it were to be the last season, I don't know how it would go on. Like how well it would do. I'd want it to do well just for the sake of the memory. If Ramsey's not done by the end of that, how are they going to go after him without the Flash? Or how are they going to go after this organization if they're going to be the focal point for the next half? Are they going to bring Wally back? Which would be crazy. Like, that would be a big move for them. Like, if they were to actually get rid of Barry and then bring back Wally. Because I know, here's the whole thing with the Oliver's deal again. Like, is that supposed to save Barry here? Like, because Monitor keeps telling him, you have to die, but is he telling him the truth? Because he has no inclination to tell him the truth. He could just be telling him this because he's set in letting this happen, so maybe he won't suspect Oliver has to, because if he couldn't tell him Oliver's gonna die for you. He would try to do his hardest to stop it. Like, there's a difference between letting himself die for the sake of the world and letting somebody else die for the sake of the world. Like, I mean, he is asking his friends to do the same thing, but would he be able to do the same? Like, that's just not everybody has that. Like, even being the leader of Team Flash right now, that doesn't say for sure whether he'd be able to like let Oliver die, sacrifice himself. One thing that kind of sort of seems to maybe lend to my theory, very tinfoil theory that Wells is Anti-Monitor, is he said he bugged Cisco and said that I've heard of he knows about Ramsey, them trying to save him, he knows that Barry's the Flash and all that stuff. So he'd have to know about the crisis. He'd have to know that Barry's going to sacrifice himself. But he never brought it up, I don't think. Right? And then, if he did, I'm sorry. But it doesn't, I don't think he brought it up. And then whenever Cisco asked him about, like, antimatter, if that would save somebody, he didn't, like, that didn't spark something in his mind. Like, maybe he's going to try to save this Barry guy. Like, he might know what he's trying to do, and just like, it's not gonna work, so whatever. He also might know like the extent of the crisis, because I don't think, because I'm pretty sure Barry brought up the antimatter, like what's gonna be going on with that, and then like after Cisco had been bugged, so I don't know. That just struck me strange as to like why he didn't bring that up, and why he didn't connect the dots as to, okay, so he's gonna try to he's asking about this, if this can save somebody from antimatter. I wonder, so is he gonna uses to save his friend. But maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe it's just he didn't catch that bit whenever he was listening on the bug, or it's plot hole. Who knows? Another thing I thought was strange was that Cisco, whenever Barry brought up, making a cure or helping Ramsey anyway, Cisco was like, we've done some crazy things, but that's ridiculous. I'm like, I mean, you made a cure for metahumans, so why is this so much out of the realm of possibility? Like you've been able to isolate the dark matter and how it affects DNA, how it rewrites it, and you've been able to make something that can undo that process of how dark matter intertwines with the DNA and how it mutates it. So how is this different? I don't know. I feel like that's strange to say. Luckily, there was somebody that already had it, but that they stole it from the Dominator's world, which is, well, I don't know if they stole it from the world, but what? Jesus Christ. Oh, recovered it from. Okay, gotcha. So, hold on. So it was on the ship, I guess. Recovered it from some invasion 3 years ago. Okay. So it's not. It's kind of convenient that they had that, but I mean, it's something that happened years ago, so it's not that convenient. But anyway, it's I don't know. It just struck me weird that Cisco thought it was strange that they couldn't create it, even though this company didn't get it from, like, they didn't create it here. They stole it from the Dominator. So, but I don't know. I just thought that was strange that he would just like immediately was like, yeah, that's impossible. Caitlin still has yet to, like, even like, I feel like Frost should let Caitlin pop out so that she can interact with Barry, at least talk to him, because I mean, I know she can hear Caitlin and she could probably convey what she's saying out loud, but it's not the same emotions. And I know Frost is kind of the same person. They don't have the same. They don't. I don't know. Like, Barry and Caitlin have been friends longer than Barry and Frost have been friends. So I feel like she should let her out to interact with Barry a little bit and spend time with him before he supposedly vanishes, before he dies. So they brought up Sue again, Ralph's wife in the comics, and I liked at the end also, where it's like it's just a missing persons case, not like I'm looking to get married. I know they obviously did that. That if somebody had known, even if somebody didn't know who that was to him, I feel like that they would probably pick that up. At least that's like, okay, so is that somebody supposed to marry in the comics? I felt like that was heavy enough to kind of. They made that heavy enough for people that didn't know the comics to kind of pick up on that. I'm pretty sure. I just thought it was great that they did that though. Like they keep like the second time I think that they've brought that up for Ralph. And I'm wondering if that's gonna be, like, I know that Iris, she kind of gave him a breakthrough or a lead, so that I'm just wondering how much they're gonna go into that. Like they're obviously not gonna have him marry her like this season, unless I don't think they might. I don't know. Wonder if they're gonna establish her in the show. That'd be interesting. I mentioned earlier, but the scene where that Barry and Cisco had after when he realized that, or when he found out technically about that he stole the serum. Like, first, it seems like they're making, like, Barry isn't like an idiot, but throughout the past seasons they've kind of made him less aware, I guess. This season they seem to be like more like enforcing that he's their leader. He's attentive. He's intuitive more so this time around. Like with last episode, he had a feeling about Ramsey and that he kept an eye on him and he figured he was going to steal the dark matter. This time he's noticed that, well, first off, I mean, there was the plain thing of that the negative 15 degrees. So I was like, Cisco, you're kind of sticking out here. Then he also points or but the fact that Barry pointed out that you haven't been able to look at me since the incident over at McCully Technologies, I think it was called, and that pretty much led to the fight that they had. That he got on him about stealing it, and that you're putting somebody else's life in danger. We were trying to save a life, and this guy could save countless others. And I've been trying to train you to be the leader. You were my pick, and then he goes into saying that I think I made the wrong. I guess I made the wrong choice, or I might have made the wrong choice, which is a bit. I mean, it's kind of harsh and quick, like the first the first mistake since you're trying to train them up to be the leader, you kind of sort of give up on him. But it's he's in the heat of the moment, and you're kind of dealing with the emotions of your fact you're going to die, and your best friends trying to save you. You're gonna say things that you don't mean, so it's not outlandish. It's not like, man, that's a bit rash, Barry. I mean, it is, but it's just there's a reason behind that. That's kind of, I feel like that was a pretty real reaction to that, and considering like I said, everything that's going on, you're gonna say things you don't mean, because at the end he's like, I knew I had the right choice. Whenever afterwards, the whole thing before he was gonna have his conversation with Joe, one scene of that kind of annoyed me, and then I'm pretty sure will annoy Eric from Blind Wave. Is Frost, when she's fighting that one lady, like when she was choking her, I feel like she could have frozen her there. Instead, she blasted off the floor, even though it looked cool. When she backflipped and then slid backwards, that kind of looked cool. But then when she made ice knuckles, that looked cool too. Not gonna lie. But considering she can just, as they showed afterwards, that she just kind of blasted her, even though I don't know why there's a difference between the freezing and the blasting, because it doesn't seem to be freezing it unless she wants it to. Which, I mean, maybe that's the thing. She doesn't want to freeze them, even though they're dead already, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because they did, re-kill, I guess, Romero. So I don't know why they didn't freeze them. Because I mean, when she did it, she just put an ice wall when they were confronting Ramsey instead. She didn't freeze them, which she should have done. But when she created the ice knuckles, I'm like, why don't you just freeze her, hit her or something, blast her? One of those two would be better than what you're doing right now. I mean, she won apparently, but still, I know that kind of irked me a little bit. I'm like, why don't you just? I know Eric's gonna be on about that as well. I know that's a huge stickler for him, which is fair, because I mean, you could just literally freeze them. But it is what it is. You got to create some tension with these people that could literally end something in for Barry, a blink of an eye. Speaking of which, the scene where Ramsey was holding the dude hostage, I know he said I know you're fast, but I know where this dude's carotid artery, Jesus, is. Can you I can kill him before you can get to me. But I know that thing moves quickly, but I'm pretty sure Barry should be able to move faster than he can. Whatever him. So I don't know, but again, need to create the tension, need to create the issues that we're gonna have. So yeah, this guy's gonna come. I was wondering if this is gonna be we're gonna stop him now, and then we're gonna maybe try to help him afterwards. But no, he got away. He's doing this sort of Venom-like thing. He's sitting the goo from his hand, or the blood, I guess, from his hand, and latching on, and climbing up buildings, which look kind of freaky. But yeah, that's just a couple of things that I kind of had issues with, really, which they do constantly, with Frost and with Barry. Going back to the Barry and Joe scene, apart from when it started off, when he goes, "This is what you get for saving the world." Man, you already know, leading into you already knew, whenever when he talks to Cecile, he might letting me catch up with you later. From then on, you know that this is gonna be tough. And then when Barry starts, he goes to Joe and they start having a conversation, and then it gets to the point where he says that about you saved this world, why this isn't fair, why this isn't okay. And he brings up I'm a cop, I protect people, but then at the end of it I would be able to retire and spend time with my family, watch my baby girl grow up. You can't do that. They just did such a great job there, and it immediately was pulling at me, and it my heartstrings, breaking my heartstrings. It was just, man, I know I asked for it, and I said at the end of it though, I take it back. You know, I don't want to see Joe and them, and I don't want them to bring me to crying so badly, which they did. Like, I asked for it and they gave it to me more than I could handle. um, but man, they did a great job though. That like Jesse L. Martin and Grant Gustin they've done great. Like their acting's been great. Like especially their scenes together, I love them so much. They're always there's levels of it, but they always very emotional and bring me pretty close to tearing up, if not like straight up tears falling, like this time. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this week's episode, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the poll, which I haven't thought of yet. So give me a second. All right, so for the poll, now if you already know about it, like for some reason it's been, I don't think it would be, but if it was talked about by the showrunners or something, or it's been leaked, don't let me know. But referring to the Wells, the new one, do you think he could be a monitor, the Anti-Monitor? I'm sorry, because it's the only, I don't know why else he'd be looking for him. I don't like, maybe maybe the Monitor gave him a job and he's not okay with it or something. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Because I know he mentioned before is like, you know, he creates the fairy tales for gods or something like that. But yeah, so do you think he's the Anti-Monitor, yes or no? And you can go ahead and comment on the poll whether why you think yes or no. And if you have a theory, go ahead and let me know on that too, because I mean, I'm not the smartest man, so any theory is welcome. But for now, guys, that is it for this week's episode for The Flash. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you want to check out the rest of our stuff, go ahead and visit our channel. If you want to support us, go ahead and check out our Patreon. You can get polls for stuff like this, you know, questions about after the shows, for live shows, early access for shows, stuff like that. Link for that will be in the description down below. Again, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next week.